Hello there, my friends. This is Cryptic Paradigm returning to you to complete the review that I started. It must have been about a month ago on my Sabertrio Aeryn, and this is their Neo Saber, one of the first generation Neo Sabers that comes with a Nano Biscotti V4. It doesn't have what do they have now? I think it's oh crap! I can't remember what the board's called. I think it's like a crystal shard variant or something to that effect. I'm not too certain, but it's a much more advanced NeoPixel setup. So this is kind of what they started with, and I've already kind of reviewed the hilt, but I'll just kind of give the visuals. I like this hilt because it has, when I purchased it from an eBay seller, he had customized it with, you can see the CoverTech wheel has this copper anodization. At least I think it's copper. It could be gold. Yeah, I'm not too certain. Could be either. Um, I can't tell colors apparently. So you can see it has some light weathering, super, super light weathering, and a little bit of bluing in a certain light. A nice little grenade section. I like this a lot. Little sections for you to kind of latch onto a groove and get your hand in there and hold this thing steady. It's a very comfortable saber. The thin neck on this is really comfortable. I find the thin neck on some of the Saberforge sabers to be kind of a grueling experience. But this is the opposite of that. And of course, you have the emitter. So I have my new NeoPixel blade inserted, and I purchased this from an Etsy store called Vantas. I believe it's Vantas. And it took about 2.5 weeks to produce this blade. This is a heavy walled blade. I elected to get a heavy walled blade because I want something a little bit more durable than a thin walled blade, considering the amount of money I spent on this. I did spend $115. The price is currently $125 per blade from his store, but and with the shipping, which was probably about $11, he shipped out of San Diego. And the shipping took about a week before it actually shipped. And then there was kind of a bit of an issue with the shipping. But he was super, super communicative, and he tracked it down for me. And then he told me essentially that I would receive my blade by Wednesday. And on Wednesday it came. And I'm quite happy with this blade. Even though it's a heavy walled blade, it's really fairly light. It has an opacity to it, which I imagine, this is my first NeoPixel blade, but I'm assuming that the opacity is kind of standard for this type of blade. And it came with a bullet tip, and I'm not usually a fan of bullet tips, but for some reason I decided to get this one with a bullet tip. Actually, I don't remember if I was given an option. I think I was. And this is one of the most seamless bullet tips I've ever seen on a blade. It's really, really nice. The blade is straight as an arrow, and so far it's working 100% as it should. So I am extremely, extremely thrilled with the finished product. So 5 stars to Vantas from the Etsy store. If you're looking to buy a blade, I highly recommend them. So on that bombshell, I'm going to initiate this thing. I'm going to ignite it, and I'll show you the first font and how it responds. So let's get a view of the blade, and here we go.
It'll do.
Now, I'm going to have to go in here and make some adjustments. I don't mind the blade color, but the flash on clash is a little bit unimpressive. But let me get up and swing this around. From here on out, I'm going to be standing for this, but I'll try not to wander around too much as I'm wont to do. See, the RGB that's selected for the flash on clash is a little bit too subtle for me. I'm gonna go in there and fiddle with it and make it a little bit more I'm gonna try to add some contrast, maybe a more of a white or something to that effect. So I like the speed that the blade extends and retracts. I like that very much. All right, font number 2.
What is your will, my master?
Now, I naturally assumed that this was going to be kind of a Sith sort of a font, maybe like like an orange or something, because there's already a red that's selected. But instead, look at that. It's a consular green. And I very much like this consular green. And I'm not usually a green blade guy, but seeing it extend like that. So it looks like there's kind of an orange flash on clash. I don't mind it. It's a little bit subtle, but I don't mind it. So let's retract. I like the speed to which this retracts. That's quite nice. So in the camera, when this ignites here, oh, I love that flare of green. That is really nice, especially on the camera. In the last font, Kylo Ren.
I'll show you the dark side.
It's a very quick ignite. I think I might like to slow that down a bit. Now, this has a flicker. Now, you'll notice there isn't really too much in the way of effects sort of on this. And I don't assume that the Nano Biscotti V4 will be heavy on effects. After all, this is not an open source layout where you can enter in codes and get a lot of the effects that some people get with the NeoPixel. But this is sort of my inaugural sort of like, introduction to NeoPixel. So eventually someday I'll probably get something a little bit more advanced. But for now, I'm quite pleased with this. So here we go. This has a nice pink that's quite noticeable. So I like that. I love that deep, throaty sound. And for this, the retraction, much slower. So, again, we have that. We have that. And there you have it. This is my introduction to NeoPixel. And I have to say, I am thrilled. I am really, really pleased with the overall package here. This is a amazing quality blade, an amazing quality hilt that feels good in the hand. It's comfortable, well balanced. It came equipped with 3 sound fonts that I enjoy. The colors are quite good. I just just gonna have to make an adjustment on one of the flash on clashes, maybe the speed of the extension of the blade for the Kylo Ren font. But other than that, I'm quite pleased. So this is an investment. This was expensive, but that's the hobby that we're all involved in. At any rate, just be known, I'm not an expert on NeoPixel at all. This is, as I said, my first exposure to it. But if you're so inclined to ask any questions, I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability, or at the very least direct you to someone who can. There is quite a plethora of amazing YouTube contributors that cover sabers that would just blow your mind with their comprehensive knowledge. Me, I'm in it for the fun and to entertain you guys, because I won't get into it. You've heard that enough from me. I just go on and on about things. I'm a moron. But what can I say? Anyway, so I'm going to say good night. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope everyone has a good evening. And you guys stay frosty, okay? Take care now. Bye-bye.